Today is February 19th, and history on this day is packed with style, science, power shifts, and pop culture moments that genuinely change the world. From fashion icons to medical breakthroughs, let's jump right in. Let's start with fashion, but not just fashion, an icon. On February 19th, 2019, Karl Lagerfeld passed away. Karl wasn't just a designer, he was a walking brand, a creative machine, and one of the most recognizable figures in fashion history. As the creative force behind Chanel Fendi and his own label, Lagerfeld completely reinvented Chanel in the 1980s and turned it into the global powerhouse we know today. Fun fact, Karl was known for his sharp tongue, black sunglasses, white ponytail, and of course, his cat. Choupette, his beloved Burman cat, lived a more luxurious life than most humans. She had her own maids, private jet trips, and even inherited part of Karl's fortune. Yes, really. Another iconic detail, Karl lost over 40 kilos in the early 2000s, just so he could fit into slim-cut Dior home suits, proving that even fashion legends bend reality to style. And that bottle-shaped silhouette you see everywhere, his look literally inspired the Coca-Cola bottle redesign in one of their fashion collaborations. Karl Lagerfeld didn't follow trends. He created them, rewrote them, and then moved on before anyone could catch up. From haute couture, let's jump to Hollywood's new generation. On February 19, 2004, Millie Bobby Brown was born. She rose to global fame as 11 in the Netflix phenomenon Stranger Things, instantly becoming one of the youngest Emmy nominees in television history. But Millie didn't stop there. She proved her range and star power with the Enola Holmes film series, leading the story and carrying a major franchise on her shoulders. As of early 2026, she has won over 20 awards and received more than 40 nominations, reflecting her talent and dedication. Beyond acting, Millie launched her own beauty brand, became a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador at just 14, and was recently honored with the Personality of the Year award in Riyadh for her global influence, talent, ambition, and impact, all before adulthood. Now let's switch gears, because this next milestone literally changed the way we see and create the world. On February 19, 1990, a tool that would change the world of creativity forever was born, Adobe Photoshop 1.0. Fun fact, it wasn't always called Photoshop. Early on, the creators Thomas and John Knoll called it Display, then Image Pro, before settling on the iconic name we all know today. The very first image ever photoshopped was a beach photo of Thomas Knoll's wife, simply titled Jennifer in Paradise. From that moment, Photoshop didn't just edit pictures, it reshaped visual culture. It's so influential that its name even became a verb. To Photoshop something is now part of everyday language. Whether it's retouching portraits, creating digital worlds, or designing movie magic, Photoshop started a revolution that's still going strong today. Now let's move into global politics. On February 19, 2008, Fidel Castro officially resigned as president of Cuba. After nearly 50 years in power, one of the most influential and controversial political figures of the 20th century stepped down. His leadership reshaped Cuba's identity, politics, and relationship with the world, admired by some, criticized by others, but impossible to ignore. That resignation marked the end of an era and a turning point for an entire nation. History doesn't pause often, but when it does, it looks like this. And finally, let's rewind even further to a moment that changed how humans capture memories. On February 19, 1856, Hamilton Lanfear Smith patented the melanotype, the original tintype process. Using collodion on a black varnished iron plate, he created one-of-a-kind portraits, fast, cheap, and accessible to everyday people. Fun fact, while Smith called it a melanotype and others a ferrotype, the public settled on tintype because the thin metal felt tinny. In a way, tintypes were the Instagram of the 19th century, raw, personal, and unforgettable. So when you look at February 19th, it's kind of incredible. A fashion genius with a legendary cat, a young actress reshaping pop culture, a creative revolution that changed how we see and make art, a political era coming to an end, and a photographic invention that froze history in metal. Which moment stood out to you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey through February 19th, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories that made history.